Good day, and thank you for joining. I am Stephen Michael Ellenson, the worldwide head of the restaurant and food service practice for Amazon Web Services. I'm honored today to have our two distinguished speakers joining us. I personally invited them to join us because they are uniquely positioned to present to us, having each spent nearly a decade at their respective organizations. They each have experienced growth, disruption, innovation, and the business cycles that commonly come with travel and hospitality organizations. Both of them have helped to transition their organizations to become more data-driven. Along the way, they have each watched a massive increase in volume, velocity, and variety of data being consumed by their organizations. Both of them are extraordinarily proficient at breaking down data silos, bringing information to the fingertips of their key stakeholders, and with experimenting data at large scale. It's because they're uniquely positioned in order to share their insights that I'm excited for you to be able to learn from them today. They also happen to be great AWS partners, and they're building on the future on behalf of all of their customers. Collectively, they operate 19 brands across 120 countries and represent more than 40,000 physical outlets. As a fun fact, I'm a high-tier loyalty member of each one of their unique reward programs. I'm also fortunate to be part of a larger team at AWS dedicated to the very specific needs of travel and hospitality customers. For AWS, we classify this as passenger airlines, airports, ground transportation, which includes car rental, passenger rail, and passenger bus, accommodations and lodging, cruise lines, restaurants, catering and food service, entertainment venues, which includes casinos and amusement parks, and then technology and hospitality technology service providers. Especially now, the needs of these customers are more unique than ever, and myself and my peers are proud to play a role in helping to support them. The truth is that we can actually learn from each other across the entire travel hospitality industry. And while Michael and Rajesh's presentations will likely only speak to small subsegments of our industry, I believe that everything they shared today will be applicable to all industry leaders. Because the truth is, companies are transforming themselves by adopting new technology. They're becoming more agile, and they're beginning to innovate at scale. To that extent, travel and hospitality represents some of the most well-known and loved brands in the universe. I challenge you to think about your last interaction with one of your favorite brands and think about how much you long and yearn for the opportunity to engage with them again. Now, personally, I've seen customers lean into using technology in order to make their organizations more resilient or to build for whatever the future growth may be for them. All of them leverage the more than 200 AWS services in order to improve their organization. We see them doing this to increase customer experiences or to enhance operational efficiencies. These are two common themes that emerge that are unique based on the depth and breadth of customers with whom we support. What this means is there's also additional learning opportunities where you can learn from the other leaders of these other travel and hospitality organizations. One such opportunity that I would like to call your attention to is session TRV 202. In this session, Jason Birnbaum, the Senior Vice President of Digital Technology at United Airlines, and Mark Nasser, the Senior Vice President of Marketing, E-commerce, and Products at Air Canada, will share how they're helping to build the future of air travel. I encourage everybody to check out this amazing session, as well as to look for other sessions where your travel and hospitality peers are going to be presented. You can do this by looking at the overall agenda builder for the event, or you can download and view the Travel and Hospitality Industry Attendee Guide for specific information. Now, to inject some caffeine directly into this session, it's my pleasure to begin introducing Rajesh Naidu. Rajesh is the Vice President of Enterprise Data, Analytics Technology, Enterprise Architecture, and Emerging Technology for Starbucks. I'm fortunate that I call the Starbucks Reserve Roastery in New York City my home store, and so I'm able to experience the innovation that he and his team unleash nearly every day I go to get a coffee. I'm also fortunate that I've been able to work with him across his tenure and to be able to personally experience his exceptional leadership and engineering capabilities. It's for these reasons that he's quickly risen through the ranks. During his tenure with the organization, he has held 7 progressive roles with increasing levels of responsibility. He does this all clearly by demonstrating a desire to continuously improve his organization, his team, and above all, himself. Please welcome me in welcoming Rajesh Naidu.
Thank you, Stephen, for the kind words and the introduction. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to share the story of how data is driving Starbucks' future growth. I hope by sharing my story and my learnings today, I can help you and your companies move ahead in your data and analytics journey. As most of you know, Starbucks has been around since 1971, and we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. Starbucks is the premier roaster, marketer, and retailer of specialty coffee in the world. We operate in 83 markets and have over 33,000 stores worldwide. For the recently completed fiscal year 2021, Starbucks reported consolidated revenues of $29.1 billion. The Starbucks Rewards loyalty program, which I am going to be referencing later on today, had its 90-day active membership in the US increased to 24.8 million, up 28% year over year. Starbucks is personified and exemplified by our culture. The strong finish to fiscal 2021, including the record performance in the fourth quarter, demonstrated how Starbucks thoughtfully navigated a strong recovery with an eye towards our future, all guided by our mission and values. Like I said before, our culture is driven by our mission statement to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. We always want to make decisions through the lens of humanity, and this was exemplified in how we took care of our partners during the course of the pandemic. We refer to our employees as partners and really believe that we had to make tough decisions, but these were decisions which were data-driven. With our global presence and the myriad of different store formats that we have, we strive for a consistent customer and partner experience. How our customers interact with our brand and how our partners operate and serve our customers, we like that to be uniform worldwide. Starbucks believes in taking care of the customer at all times and always making it right. As we look forward to the new normal and a post-pandemic world, Starbucks is at the intersection of what we call the great human reconnection. We want to meet our customers where they need us to be. This could mean new business models, store formats, and other ways of meeting customer demand. Data is the cornerstone of enabling us to connect with our customers, understanding their preferences, and making those moments meaningful. The guiding principles that we have for the company are also carried over to our data and analytics practice at Starbucks. The customer and partner centricity drives us to gather and also provide the right data and information to drive relevant engagement with our brand. By always designing with privacy and security at the forefront, we continue to keep our place as a trustworthy brand. We believe in providing the trusted data to drive our business aspirations. To provide relevant and contextual and correlated analytics for our business, we want to bring as much of our data into our enterprise data lake and data platforms. This requires us to tap into not just our cloud applications, but also our on-prem applications and the various software as a service offerings that we have. We passionately refer to this as no data left behind. To fulfill our vision of a data-driven enterprise, we are focusing on helping drive data literacy across all levels of the company. This includes both our retail and non-retail partners. We have a great foundation in North America, which we want to share with our international markets and help jumpstart the data and analytics capabilities for our licensees and other store partners in other parts of the world. The amazing growth of Starbucks over the last 50 years has shown how we are constantly innovating. In keeping with an agile mindset, everything we do in our data and analytics practice is about allowing our teams to ideate, iterate, and scale. Starbucks has aspirations to be a planet positive, a people positive, and a profit positive corporation. We refer to this as the 3 Ps. And we feel that having informed decisions to our business stakeholders and making data available to our store partners is going to help us support these aspirations and fulfill what we want to do with the 3 Ps. The last 19 months or so have definitely tested the resolve of Starbucks. It started with an unprecedented shutdown of our stores. This disrupted the normal routine for our customers and partners. When a Starbucks store shuts down outside of their normal schedule, then you know it is something really serious. We had a spike in mobile ad ordering and drive-through orders. We had to pivot to new fulfillment models, something which we had never done before, like curbside and expanding our delivery ordering. These had to be done quickly and required us to really exercise our ideate, iterate, and scale mindset. We also had to do this in an accelerated manner, but everything supported by data-driven decision making. It became so paramount for us to deliver the right data to our customers and store partners. Something we always took for granted, customers needed to know where a bathroom is that they can use. Starbucks is a trusted brand that customers not only come for our food and beverage offerings, but also to use our restrooms. Partners needed to know how the jurisdiction or the local health ordinance allowed customers to interact with the store partners, whether they could come into the stores or not, or whether they were allowed to use a restroom. This meant capturing this information in near real-time manner, disseminating this information to our customers and our partners, and helping make sure that we run our business while the pandemic was raging on. We had to build new business models on labor staffing to know which stores could operate and which couldn't. We had to make tough business decisions like every other company, and we always leaned on a lens of humanity to make the right data-driven decisions. As variants came and went, and as vaccinations started to pick up, our leadership posed us a challenge of how can we predict our store recovery with a higher degree of reliability. This required us to bring in new external data around vaccination rates, COVID infection rates, etc., to complement our internal data and help drive our business. All this was possible primarily with our partnership with AWS. The Starbucks analytics and data ecosystem is heavily reliant on our systems of record for digital ordering and loyalty that run in the AWS platform. The digital ordering is synonymous with what customers refer to as mobile order and pay, and this runs in AWS in our platform called the Unified Commerce Platform. By leveraging AWS Elastic Kubernetes services, we were able to get the managed Kubernetes services offering and have AWS reliably run these workloads for us in multiple availability zones and provide us the reliability and security that we needed. Another wonderful feature that we are able to utilize with AWS is combining spot instances with on-demand instances using EC2 auto-scaling to optimize workload and cost performance. As Starbucks transformed into a more near real-time business, we deployed our first event-driven architecture in AWS and benefited from the AWS Managed Services Kafka offering. Events produced in both our digital ordering and our loyalty rewards platform were published as topics via Amazon Simple Notification Service, or SNS. These SNS topics are subscribed by other Starbucks systems and are pivotal for the data and analytics and data science needs that are done downstream from AWS. We are able to run our world-class digital ordering and loyalty rewards program due to the scalable, reliable, and secure offerings from AWS and the awesome partnership we have with them. Let me talk a little bit about the different solutions that we had to put forth to operate our business during COVID-19. Like I said before, we had some significant challenges, but we had several bright moments and new learnings at Starbucks. We reinforced that our enterprise data analytics platform is the backbone that we will need to rely on for our operational reporting, advanced analytics, and data science needs. While we have various systems of record or systems of entry that generate data and integrate with our analytics platforms, we identified a new need for a low-code platform for data augmentation by the field. Our store partners who were on the front lines for us needed a way to capture and disseminate relevant contextual data to our leadership or other stores. Again, a good example around this was our bathroom data. So people needed to know which bathrooms were available. The best way to capture this data was to have the store partners let us know that. We had to have new ways where technology doesn't become the bottleneck for this, and hence pivoting to a low-code platform allowed us to quickly deploy solutions to the field. We had to know what amenities were open, how to surface this information, and eventually how to push this out to our entire fleet. We had to accelerate delivery of reports to the field. These had to be intuitive, flexible, and we had to make sure that these were such that we did not have to burden our store partners with receiving additional training. Store features were no longer dictated by headquarters. These needed to be logged in by the field partners. As I mentioned earlier, being in AWS allowed us to be able to scale and meet our digital ordering growth. Another new frontier for us, which we hadn't come across before, was we felt that other businesses and local businesses around us wanted to look at the data that we had and use the data to make their own decisions on whether they should be running their businesses or not. So we looked at ways on how we can, i.e., open source or share this information with them. And that led to the spawning of the COVID Community Information Exchange, or CCIE, that we have rolled out for other businesses to leverage. While there was a feeling of helplessness during this past year, our partners in Starbucks Technology stepped forward to see how they could use their tech skills to make a meaningful difference. This led us to participate in various community efforts. One that I'm really proud of is where my team partnered with other local tech companies in the Seattle area, including AWS, to redesign the Washington State Vaccine Finder and registration site. Not only did this help the state with analytics and insights gathering, but the tech companies and AWS and Starbucks was able to make the experience seamless and cater to people who weren't technology savvy. During this time, we also doubled down on our AI investments. We refer to our AI platform as Deep Brew. Some of the key focus areas for us were personalization to offer relevant products to our customers. Remember, the morning routine had changed. We were seeing larger orders during the day when customers were buying for family members, and we want to make sure we had the right personalized offerings to them. Optimizing store labor allocation, predictive maintenance of our Mastrena coffee machines. We didn't have the luxury of sending out technicians to the field to check on machines. We needed to bring the data in to see how the machines were doing, predict when maintenance was required, and in some cases, pushing maintenance out if just one machine was used versus two. Automated replenishment and better store inventory management solutions. And the key thing around all of this AI is to augment our store partners with the right decision making in the right moment. Several lessons learned along the way, a few that I would like to share with you. Promoting new ways of collaborating, both internal and external. How we gather data and make it easier for field partners to provide input. Correlating internal and external data became so critical and important for us. We also needed to empower our engineering teams to match the velocity at which the business was moving, to ideate, iterate, and scale. The test and learn mindset is a new muscle we exercise and are continuing to hone. Maintaining a trusted and strong cloud partnership with AWS helped us to be able to meet our business resiliency and elastic needs. Customers wanted a consistent experience from us, which predicates a consistent architecture and technology across our fleet of stores. We made investments to improve data literacy and accelerate data literacy and data-driven decision making. And one of the key things for us was making sure we focused on both our retail and non-retail partners. As more data becomes available and new data comes into our ecosystem, reports had to be reformatted or redone. We had to have flexible and extensible data schemas, making it easier to swap in tiles in and out of reports. It's all about being agile and responsive, focusing on a simple UI and UX. And nothing like having a reliable cloud partner knowing that your digital ordering and loyalty platforms, which are key enablers for Starbucks to continue its digital aspirations, are running in AWS with the kind of reliability that we've all come to expect. Finally, talking a little bit about our outlook for the future. Data and analytics democratization, by pushing this down to our store partners, to our non-retail partners, with a focus on self-service and augmented analytics is what we really want to look at over the coming weeks and months. We also believe that voice and vision are technologies to unlock new customer experiences for us and also drive store operational efficiencies. We are seeing opportunities to use these technologies to also improve our brand perception and advocate for inclusiveness in our stores. Similar to the lens of humanity that guides us, the AI ML experiences need to align with our values. An internal phrase we love using is "gotta be cool, not creepy." It also needs to align with our security and privacy design principles and ensure that we continue to retain our position as a trustworthy brand in the world. We need to give our customers the data they need to wayfind their way to an experience. Starbucks is not just about a transactional interaction. It's about providing relevant and contextual and personalized experiences to our customers. Finally, for Starbucks, we're all about augmenting the human connection, making the great human reconnection even stronger, making the partnership with AWS reach new heights to help re-augment and reconnect with our human connections and push to new heights. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story with you.
Thank you very much, Rajesh. Working with you, I'm consistently reminded how to do data done right. Your tremendous focus on customers, both internal and external, is top-notch. And the way that you align the cultural and engineering principles in order to deliver is absolutely outstanding. Now, equally, I'm also a Diamond Tier member of the Hilton Honors Program, and it's always a pleasure for me whenever traveling to be able to stay at one of Hilton's amazing properties. Speaking of those diamonds, it's my great pleasure to begin to introduce Michael Leidinger, the Senior Vice President and Chief Information Officer for Hilton. Michael was polished at the United States Navy. As a result, he brings a strong tactical and strategic approach to being a technologist inside of a travel and hospitality organization. For those of you who do not know, Hilton was actually founded by a veteran. Conrad Hilton served in France during World War I, and ever since, the Hilton organization has employed tens of thousands of veterans. Please welcome Michael Leidinger on how Hilton is using data to drive future growth.
Thank you for allowing me the time to share our journey. Today, I would like to highlight 4 areas demonstrating the great partnership between Hilton and AWS and the results we have achieved using AWS tools. Let's turn first to data. Our vision is to create a connected data ecosystem that is both responsive and predictive, facilitating the consistent use of data across the global enterprise to help us build and deliver richer, more precisely tailored experience of our customers that allow us to more deeply connect with them on each stage of the customer journey. Through our data strategy, we will transform Hilton from a traditional manual human-powered decisioning to a true machine-driven enterprise where humans build decisioning algorithms and then monitor and tune the decision engines through a continuous feedback loop. To do this, we must ensure Hilton's enterprise data is consistent, accurate, governed, and secure. A key foundational element to achieving that vision is the establishment of our enterprise data lake. As we were making significant investments to build out our data analytics capabilities in-house, our current data lake platform had reached the end of its life. We needed to make a change and to bring in a partner that could contribute to the success of admittedly aggressive data analytics goals. As we looked at what we needed to accomplish our data strategy, we identified several key requirements. We had to provide on-demand processing capacity to meet peak business demand and scale back when not needed. We had to isolate our business workloads based on SLAs without having to duplicate data. We had to simplify our operational deployment and lifecycle management, reduce our overall operating costs for both compute and storage, provide robust independent scaling for compute and storage, and reduce single points of failure and risk for data loss. Based on that, we decided to move forward with AWS and a suite of AWS products, which we'll look at now. We moved all of our storage to Simple Storage Service, and migrated the compute platform to AWS Elastic MapReduce, ensuring an infrastructure as code deployment model. Executing this vision required us to migrate all storage from vendor-specific ephemeral to AWS S3, to design a platform solution using AWS Elastic MapReduce and featured control nodes and worker nodes, both deployed as infrastructure as code. We had to recompile and test all Spark code and frameworks to run on EMR. We had to run in parallel in production to validate the output on the new platform. We then had to cut over processing to EMR platform in manageable chunks. And most importantly, we had to turn off the old stuff and send it right to dev null. So what has this done for us? We've only recently determined we're going to be able to save close to $1 million annually on our operating expenses. Just as important, what has EMR enabled us to deliver to our internal business partners? For one, we've been able to move forward much more aggressively and to be more responsive. Old processes and systems meant that a request to add a new data source could take months, some cases up to a year or more. We've cut that down significantly to just a matter of days. This means our business is getting access to the data they need to make decisions more quickly than ever before. Additionally, we've been able to provide the ability to scale up and down based on real-time business demand. We've been able to simplify our operational management and environmental support. We could reduce our deployment time from months to days. We've reduced our business risk from manual platforms management. We significantly improved our platform availability and uptime, and we've also reduced the need for planned platform outages. Right now, we're planning to wrap up the migration in October, and we'll decommission our legacy data platforms by the end of 2021. Then we'll continue to enhance, starting with upgrading our Redshift RA3 to get the same benefits of workload isolation and the separation of compute and storage. Most importantly, with this foundational element in place, we can accelerate our data analytics strategy like never before. Another area we've had great success in our partnership with AWS is our chat platform. Our guests can communicate with call center team members via Hilton.com to get general support for their Hilton Honors account, support for an existing reservation, or help with any reservation they're trying to complete. Hilton needed a new partner to help fulfill our strategic roadmap for messaging, as our previous vendor was unable to fully meet our requirements. Given that our call center already uses Amazon Connect for voice, we decided to launch an Amazon Connect chat pilot to see if we could gain efficiencies through a single tool for voice and chat. As we looked for a new partner, we realized we needed a chat experience that would integrate with our existing tools and technologies, provide a more consistent experience for our team members and our guests across various customer care channels, save costs through aggressive automation, and enable us to automatically shift guest inquiries into lower cost channels. Given our success with Amazon Connect for voice and our need for tighter integration between our chat and voice channels, moving forward, this pilot just made sense to us. As part of our transition to Amazon Chat, we deployed several AWS technologies. Most importantly, we deployed Amazon Connect Chat. We also expanded our use of Lex and Lambda. We implemented Kendra and DynamoDB. This resulted in a solution offering many benefits. Our customer UI has a much more up-to-date look and feel. It supports either a guided or ask any question experience. Content has been updated and expanded to be more relevant and capable of answering a greater variety of questions. The content format using Lex and Kendra is more flexible and easier to update. By consolidating Amazon Connect for chat capabilities alongside IVR and phone routing, Hilton has unlocked operational efficiencies, including a 34% increase in automated responses. We now have greater ability to leverage existing automation from voice. We are able to provide more robust FAQ content and a guided flow menu with buttons to navigate our FAQs. We have improved utterance recognition, greater compliance with accessibility rules, regulations, and best practices, And we've greatly improved our security and agent ability to report malicious chats and safeguard our customer accounts. Given the success of our initial pilot, we're continuing to build out chat capabilities using Connect. By the end of the year, we will add Amazon Connect chat experiences to other Hilton web pages beyond help.hilton.com. We're now extending our IVR automations to chat and including making available such features as reconfirmations, cancellations, requesting your hotel receipt, retrieving your owner's account number, and password resets. We're also developing much deeper FAQ content and a management UI, and we're beginning work on an authenticated chat experience. A few years ago, as we embarked on a Hilton-wide technology renovation journey, we recognized the need to replace our legacy central reservation system with a scalable, elastic platform capable of managing hundreds of millions of transactions against up-to-the-minute inventory availability data. Our central reservation, or CRS, is an application to centrally manage rates and inventory for all of our properties, allowing for distribution of inventory across all of our channels and external partners. Our legacy CRS was a monolithic application with a 25-year-old code base running on physical servers in one data center. This also relied on expensive Informix database and legacy communications protocols. You can imagine how important this system is to our operations, as it holds all of our guest reservations. Without the CRS, our properties, sales teams, and external partners cannot access and sell hotel rooms, and our properties can't access guest reservations. An application that was designed to manage maybe 10 to 15 million transactions per day, over time found itself needing to manage over 100 million transactions per day across multiple distribution channels, well beyond what it was originally designed to do. We entered this process with a few guiding principles. First, we needed a scalable tool, and one that can decouple legacy dependencies in a less complex manner. Over 25 years of operations, we made countless patches and enhancements that all individually made sense, but collectively resulted in an extremely complex system. We did not want to carry that complexity forward from the old system into the new one. We also needed a system that was going to be down far less frequently than it currently was. We needed to move from a weekly 2-hour update window to rolling upgrades with none to minimal system downtime for changes. And finally, we needed to allow more frequent incremental changes and fewer big bang updates. As a business, we needed greater control over inventory and pricing and the ability to quickly make changes to both and push those changes across our channels. We need to be able to execute and measure this in minutes, not hours or days. Our initial solution leveraged Aurora MySQL database to host our availability and pricing. However, after reviewing our requirements, we ended up deploying AWS Aurora Postgres database in our final solution. We also built a modern API gateway service on Elastic Compute Cloud to abstract our applications from the central reservation service. We migrated our central reservation system from the data center to EC2 and Aurora database. We implemented Aurora Global Database for data replication and resiliency. We also decided to move our underlying operating system from CentOS to Amazon Linux 2. And we leverage AWS Backup, Lambda, and Snapshot lifecycle policies for reduced recovery time objectives on all application servers and data. So far, our new cloud-based CRS 2020 has performed well beyond our expectations. We are achieving our highest daily transaction rates of 500 million, which is a 230% increase over our old high water mark of 150 million transactions per day. Database recovery time objectives decreased dramatically from 1 to 2 hours to just a few seconds with our new data replication environments. Our weekend maintenance outages decreased 200% from 2 to 3 per month to just 2 to 3 per 90 days. Just as importantly, the functionality our new CRS 2020 provides has enabled many key business initiatives, including Confirm Connecting Rooms. We're the first hotel company to offer this feature globally. Confirming connecting rooms at the time of booking answers a major customer frustration and significantly reduces contacts to the hotel and our contact center. Being able to offer this to our guests means a deeper understanding of our inventory than we ever had before. We've also implemented continuous pricing. We can now anticipate and quickly and intelligently respond to changes in demand with optimal prices. We can set prices on a fluid curve, raising and lowering rates in as little as $1 per night increments, removing the constraints of our previous rate levels and making us much more nimble to respond to real-time customer demand. As we continue to evolve, we're going to be working on better cross-availability zone load balancing functionality. We've discovered that AWS custom endpoints do not balance well with our high transaction environments over a very short window, so we'll be working to enhance that. We're also going to expand our resiliency across regions. Events should be interesting, but never exciting. And as a global company, we're also going to be improving our geographic diversity to improve our redundancy and resiliency. Now let's take a look at how we've leveraged tools to improve our continuous integration and continuous delivery processes. Let's think about the problem we were trying to solve with CI and CD in our technology environment. First, we need to be able to deliver capabilities in a more agile way than we were currently able to do. We also knew that wherever possible, as we've seen throughout this entire document, we wanted to add automation at every possible step. We also wanted to better incorporate standard DevOps practices and principles. To develop our solution, we deployed a CI/CD pipeline in our AWS Hilton hybrid cloud environment using EC2 and RDS for the data store. We moved to a Kubernetes-based container platform using AWS's Elastic Kubernetes service. We ensured our CI/CD pipeline utilized automation at every step and was fully integrated with the EKS runtime environment. Our CI/CD pipeline allows for continuous deployments anytime, as many times as we need to do it. As a result, this new CI/CD pipeline allows for continuous deployments. The automated processes significantly increase our speed to deliver. As you saw, where we replace manual processes with automation, we were able to reduce the cycle time by over 85%. Things in our old environment that used to take hours are now done in a matter of minutes if not sooner. All of this supports our ability to better support our business and more quickly deliver timely and actionable data and capabilities for all of our business partners to better serve our customers. Of course, we're always looking for ways that we can improve our CI/CD capabilities. We'll evaluate and adopt new tools and technologies that make sense for our environment and the results we're trying to achieve. Some integrations we have on our radar already for the coming year include driving even more automation in our testing, including security, functional, and load testing. And that's a story of Hilton's journey and the incredible partnership that we've been able to build with AWS. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Stephen. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Michael. Super powerful statement. I really love to learn how you used your migrations in order to free up your resources and your capital in order to innovate in new channels. I'm very excited to be able to experience the reinvented experiences that you've described during my next visit with Hilton. Now today you've had a great opportunity to learn, but that opportunity continues for you after this session. We invite you to visit Starbucks at starbucks.com to continue to learn more. To deepen your engagement with Hilton, we recommend you go to hilton.com. And of course, we ask that you bookmark and return frequently to the AWS webpage. There you'll learn more about our travel and hospitality practice. You can download our resources, including ebooks. You can engage with our frequently updated and published blog. We also make available to you other customer use cases if you're interested in learning how other customers are having success by leveraging AWS. Now, on behalf of myself, Rajesh, and Michael, please do reach out and connect if you have any further questions or comments, and we might be able to assist you. We thank you again for joining us, but we do ask that you take just a brief moment to complete a session survey. This session survey will allow us to continue to produce valuable content and bring you great items for future events.